Hello, Brenda here. It is July 28th here in New England. Actually, it's my wedding anniversary today, so it's a good day. So I wanted to give you a tour or an update of how my gardens are doing. Being like in the middle of the summer, we haven't had much rain. We only had like one or two torrential downpours, but it's been pretty dry. So I wanted to show you how we are doing. We're on 6A. Also, we just went through a whole cycle of Japanese beetles, which I'd only been seeing a few lately. They last about 6 weeks in the cycle. So I'm hopeful they're gone because my flowers, my roses are preparing for the second flush. So in any case, let's get to it. So here is the iceberg garden. In the background, you can see all those brown patches in the grass. Those were the Japanese beetles. They start as drops, and as they mature, they turn into Japanese beetles. So we just went through a treatment of milky spores. I asked the group for recommendation, and they recommended milky spores, which is a 2-year cycle. You apply them spring, summer, and fall, and then for the second year, spring, summer, and fall, and it's supposed to control the beetles. So I'm hopeful that um, that works, and we don't see many Japanese beetles again. So let me just show you how we are doing here. So iceberg garden. So I have 9 iceberg rose bushes. I can show you that is preparing for the second flush. Look at all the buds right there. And you can tell Japanese beetles are gone because the flowers are making it through the day. So I'm excited. Yes. Yeah, yeah. You can tell. Here is like the few that were left around. This is how they damaged the roses, but in general, I think they're gone. I'm really excited about the second flush. My brother is coming to town next week, so I'm hopeful that these are putting a nice show so he gets to see the nice garden. I think I told you that I have a honey Dijon plant here. I am thinking to take this out of the pot. It's too big, and I think it's gonna overgrow the pot, and I want it to do very well. So this is the third bloom or fourth bloom. Look at how beautiful that is. This is honey Dijon. And here is how the iceberg garden is looking like. Again, ready for that second flush. Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. All right, now we're gonna go to the Lady of Shalott garden. So here's the Lady of Shalott garden. It is right in front of my house. So let me just do a quick preview. The grass is brown here because we're gonna redo this lawn. So we there was a lot of weed and damage, so my husband just killed it. So not gonna step on it because he just actually sprayed it with something. So those are Litchfield Angels. There are 5 shrubs. They're 2-year-old grafted. They have not stopped producing flowers, so they're doing very well in there. They get about 6 hours of sun, and they do very well. They don't even have a black spot, which I was worried about. Then those boxwoods are sprinter boxwoods. We planted them in the spring or very early spring, and they were tiny. They were 1 quarter gallon size, and I think they have put a lot of growth. So I'm expecting that next year we're gonna start seeing the hedge closing. So I'm excited about that. That is Maynite salvia with Desdemona standard trees. I have 4 Desdemona standard trees, 2 of them in the front and then 2 of them in the side garden. They are not doing great, but I think it's just the first year. They got a lot of black spots. So I had to defoliate them twice. So this is the second time that they um, get new leaves. And they also got thrips and spider mites and sawfly larvae, so everything possible. So I also spray for some of those pests. So no flowers now, but just like about a week ago, it had like the tiniest flowers, which I think is just because they're in rough shapes. So okay. Those are the azalea um, shrubs. They got um, thrips, and you can see how the thrip damage looks like. I sprayed them last week, so I'm hopeful that that's gonna go away. But if I do like a very um, light prune, hopefully that will go away. The thrips are gone, and the new um, leaves are gonna pop. So hopefully that goes away. Okay, that's the front of the house. Again, same here. Azalea tree also got thrips. You can tell. Yep, gonna do the light prune and hope for the best. The Semona standard tree, same thing. This one has some buds, you can see, but look, I think that's sawfly larva. Then look at that. And again, I sprayed, but has two buds, so hopefully it will do well. I think it's just the first year. And look, this has flushed like I think 3 times. And that is um, I think it's a honeybee. We haven't seen many honeybees around the garden, but it's a honeybee. And again, the hedge of um, sprinter boxwood is closing. I think this one is doing better than the other side because this gets sprinkler water. So, and it is the reason for why I call this garden the Lady of Shalott garden. This is supposed to be the star of the garden. Let me just take a step back here. The star of the garden, and it's being awesome. It's producing a lot of blooms, which I love. I love the color, the contrast. Coming up the driveway, I saw the color the other day and I got so excited. And look. And then right here in the back, I have 3 Litchfield Angel um, shrubs, and it's just gonna mingle really well. So the 3 Litchfield Angel shrubs in the back, and then the 3 Lady of Shalott rose bushes. So very excited about it. And then here is another salvia. I forget the name. I'll put it up on the screen, but forget the name. Just trimmed it, and it's doing very well. And then here is the other Desdemona standard tree, which again, he got blood spot, but it has still has 1 or 2 blooms, and you can tell Japanese beetles are gone. So look at how beautiful that looks. But again, it got black spot. You can see it right there. Again, defoliated twice. This is, I think it's Japanese beetle damage. Look, and I think this is about to fall. And then here's another one. And now we'll go to the Queen of Sweden garden. So now I'm gonna show you the Queen of Sweden garden. Well, I start by saying that these are Litchfield Angels and not Queen of Swedens, but these were 1 year on root from heirloom roses. This is the second year. After they all had been eaten by bunnies, they are doing great this year. Look at how beautiful this is. And you will see why this is called the Queen of Sweden garden. And that's Litchfield Angel. And again, I have a hedge of Litchfield angels all around the sunroom. Those are Veronicas. These are May night salvias. And then here is the Queen of Sweden. Those are three on root roses. These are the second year, and they are doing phenomenal. Again, this is like, let me just get this out of here. But again, they are like thriving. They're doing awesome. It's a really nice bud. Again, they're really tall. So again, this is the second year. They're doing phenomenal. I cannot wait to see what they do the third year. And again, this is the May night salvia, Litchfield angel, right there. This one was not producing flowers, and then we realized that we did not put drip on it. As soon as we put drip, I did a little bit of trimming, and then look, it has like many buds now. This one in the winter, the deer ate all of it. It had like a big chunk gone, and then look, it's doing wonderful. I need to find a way to protect it in the winter because I know that deer is gonna come in. And then this is Veronica, and then another one. That's our drip irrigation system. So we have 4 zones in the back and then 1 zone in the front. And I will probably do a little bit of a recap at some point so you know what I have here. It's May night salvia. And then this is another forgive the lawn. Since we have construction, we have to redo the lawn, and so the summer, so it's not the right time to do it. And then here is the Desdemona standard tree, and you can see this one had a little bit of black spot, but I think it's gonna progress. I'm just hoping that it had a few flowers just a few days ago, but I just got them out. And then this salvia is May night salvia, and I had to cut this one all the way down, and it just looks terrible. And I think it got attacked by something, so I don't know what it was, but again, I think it's gonna progress. So here is the Queen of Sweden garden, just around my sunroom. And again, that's the other piece. Now we are going to the popcorn garden. So here is the popcorn garden. Those are popcorn drift roses. And I have to say, those are doing phenomenal in those pots. And in the back is a Petite Knockout. I am not a fan of the Knockout roses, but the Petite Knockouts have been doing great. So again, this is my yoga frogs. I do like the yoga frogs. By now you know that I have quite a few. Again, this is the popcorn garden. So this is now looking into my sunroom. And these 2 standard trees I just got like 3 weeks ago. Those are Petite Knockouts. And again, not a fan of the knockouts, but the Petite, they do great. And here it is. I bought them at $20. They were in discount at Home Depot. So again, they look great. And then here, that's my sunroom. So you can see that was the hedge that I showed you with the Queen of Sweden garden. And then I have two boxwoods here. Want to keep this area like really simple. These two Adirondack chairs, they usually move to the back garden, but here is how this looks. And I will look back so you see the two Petit Knockout standard trees. Now we are approaching the Darcy Boswell garden. These three shrubs are pink drifts roses, which they were killed by Japanese beetles. They were killed. But you can tell that the Japanese beetles are gone when you start seeing a lot of new growth and then the flowers like coming out, like really surviving. So these ones, I don't know. I think there's something wrong with this plant. I asked a rose group that I'm part of if someone have seen anything like this, but this, like, I don't know, they just never produce like full flowers. The flowers are like really just shoot like all around it. Let me see if I see one so you can know what I'm talking about. Like maybe something like this. I don't know. I don't know if it's the rose. I don't know if something is eating it. But anyway, so I have one that produces full blooms, and then these two that have that issue. And then in the other side, I have one that produces the full blooms, and then two that have the issue. So I may have to call the drift company just to see what's going on. So here are my Darcy Boswells, which is why I call this Darcy Boswell garden. So these three were bare-rooted Darcy Boswell roses that I bought from, I believe, Grace Rose Farm, or maybe David Austin. I don't know. I probably who I bought them, but they got black spot, and I think they got black spot from the main roses right here. Have three huge rose bushes, and but I think I know how to control black spot, and you will see a video that in my channel that I know how to do that. So there again, they went through a second flush, and now this is like what is left of the second flush, and I cut everything from like had black spot. I still see a couple of things here and there. That's black spots right here, black spots right there, and I will just come and trim everything. But in general, these rose bushes were doing great. I think it's just the high humidity here in New England, and then with the rain, and then the sun comes in, and it just feels so oppressive. These roses, they just always get black spot. So, but again, here's the other three bare rooted that I planted in the spring, and then the pink drifts, like I told you, these ones are like doing great. And then these ones, they have like the roses that they're just, let me just go back, that they don't produce a full flower. So I don't know what it is. And you can see that the actual buds, they just don't look. Here in the back, you see all these stones here. My husband went through the process of putting a drain system back here. We used to get like so much like water accumulating, and we said let's just do this so it doesn't ruin the garden and so on. So and then we are gonna remulch the entire hill, which with the wildlife coming down, there's always like weeds coming out. So I think we need to stay a little more in top of it, but we're gonna redo it probably this week. I'll post a video of it, of the hill completed, but this is just a pain. So looking for recommendations of what to do in something like this, but for now, it's gonna be mulch. So now that's my sunroom. For now, that's my yoga frog. And then now we're gonna move into the rainbow garden. So I changed the name from the new garden to the rainbow garden. So we'll go there. So here's the rainbow garden. In my rose garden video, I call it the new rose garden video, I said that this garden was gonna be flanked with two bushes of Kew Gardens. And I even bought the Kew Garden plate. And then I realized I was waiting for new growth. They were very small, and I realized that they are the General's Garden. So I got the wrong rows from David Austin. Those are not Kew Gardens. Kew Gardens. So I am waiting to hear what they say. Very disappointed. I really want Kew Gardens. I've been saying that for a long time, but yeah, these are the General's Gardener and not the Kew Gardens. Look at these big shoots. These big shoots, definitely you can tell that is a climber. Huge shoots right there. So coming down. So here is another, this is a General's Gardener, and I put this one on purpose. Look, it's the same rose. Look at it, same rose. So in here, I'm gonna buy a trellis, and I wanna just do like a little rumble. But again, if I maybe move, my husband was saying today, oh, maybe you can put 2 or 3 down here. Maybe I will, but I wasn't planning on having like three or four drops of the General's Gardener. Beautiful rose though. Look at how beautiful that is. This is Elizabeth. So this last week just had 2 flowers, but then there is a few more coming out here. Look. Okay. This one is Mansfield Park, and it was supposed to be Mansfield Park Pink, which you will see in the upper layer of the garden, but it was doing terrible. I defoliated the whole rose, and now it's doing great. It had black spot, and look, it's doing beautiful. It has new buds, so you have one right there, one right there in the back, one right here. So it's doing wonderful, but I think I'm gonna cut those to see if it grows better. It doesn't send all the energy to those buds. So this is distant drums. Pinkerbell. These roses last a long time in the vase. And look, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just in one branch. And then one here, then one here, one here, one there, there. So it's very productive rose. This is Leo da Vinci. Again, not roses yet, but I think it's preparing for a beautiful flush. Same with Uptown Girl. All dressed up. Miss Congeniality. Look at this beauty. This is just wonderful. Beautiful. Coco Loco. Again. Ready for the next flush. Look at one bud right here and one bud right there. stainless steel. This is zone 7, so I am in zone 6A. So I have to be very careful how I protect this in the winter, but look at how beautiful that pot is. Again, it's stainless steel, cannot wait. And this rose grows, I believe it's up to 7 feet. So beautiful rose, that's why it has that big long shoot. And again, if you don't see many leaves, it's because I defoliated it. It had a little bit of black spot. This is Amnesia from Grace Rose Farm. And boy, I love this rose. This rose lasts forever. The first few blooms that I had here, they lasted, I want to say 15 days. And they look a little rough. This is been up here for probably 7 days now, but they last forever. And look how many blooms there are. Silver lining. Again, I think this is the humidity and the hot weather that we had, but I have to do a little bit of deadheading here. But look at this, beautiful. Love song, some new growth there. Celestial night, hot cocoa, and it has a bloom right here. Cannot wait, so beautiful. And this is Eleganza Fiji from Quartz, and I planted these in the red section of my garden, and it's like pink. So hopefully as it grows it turns a little darker, but that's Frida Kahlo, that's ketchup and mustard, black baccara, John for Joy. There's a tiny rose, but again I think it's the summer, it's just been too hot. Then State of Grace, Fun in the Sun, Sunset Celebration. This got a lot of black spot. You see, I took pretty much everything down, so hoping for the best. This is Apricot Candy. That's, again, that's not a no bloom, but it's beautiful. Then Unforgettable. This is an exclusive from Grace Rose Farm. And then here is Apricots and Cream. And it did, look at that beautiful bloom. This is just beautiful. And then there's another one right there. There is 2 more right here. 2 more right here. 1 more. So it's doing phenomenal. Again, that's Apricots and Cream. And now we're gonna go to the upstairs portion of the garden. So now I am in the upstairs section of the garden. Again, I told you the story about the Kew Gardens. It's like no growth right there. But again, all that dust that you see, if you can see it in the video, in top of the flowers is the milky spore treatment that I'm doing for Japanese beetles. So this is Pope John Paul II. This was like full of black spot, and look how beautiful it's doing. This rose is gorgeous, love it. This is Tranquility from David Austin. I'm hopeful now. This has been battling black spot for 2 years now, and still you can see it, but the new growth seems to be doing better. Still a little bit of black spot. So this was originally in a pot, so maybe that's why it just didn't grow well. It's growing great, and I've seen a few buds, but it just still I cannot get rid of the black spot. I have to come and deadhead this a little bit, but this is Moon Dance and love it. It smells so good. Look how beautiful that is. Moon Dance. So this is the Mansfield Park Pink. And this was supposed to be downstairs in the pink section of the garden, and I got them labeled wrong. So I will probably switch them in the when they're dormant. So I put this one down there and then the white one here. But look at this huge bud. It's a big bud. And then look at this one. It's beautiful. Let me just, beautiful. And again, it's very productive given the size of this. This is on root. Size of this shrub. It's doing great. Arboros Honeymoon from Quartz. And this smells awesome. The smell reminds me of a fruit that I used to eat when I was little. Again, look at how beautiful this is. And this has another body here, another here, here. It's very productive. This is Life of the Party in my yellow section of the garden, but it comes out as yellow and then it turns this like pink color. Look at how beautiful it looks. And boy, this plant is productive. So 4 buds here, 4 buds here, 4, 4. I cannot wait to see how this does. Moonlight Romantica, again preparing for the second flush. I think this is a tall rose. I think this grows taller. Look at this big shoot. So I think it grows taller. Golden Celebration by David Austin. I put a stake here, but look how beautiful that rose is. And again, I think there's a lot of new growth right there, right there, right there. And then look at this beautiful. Morning Glow, again, I trimmed it because of black spot, but doing great. Crazy Love. This one also turns from yellow to like a blush reddish pink color. It's doing great. This rose is doing phenomenal. So this is The Poet's Wife from David Austin. I have to move the stake because it's like now getting buried within the actual rose bush. But look how beautiful it is. Look. It's like an older bloom. And then there is a lot of, look at that, beautiful. And that's the sunset right there. That's a beautiful view. And then, so this is another David Austin, Molyneux. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but, and again, this is beautiful, beautiful rose. Look how beautiful it is. Have to do a little bit of deadheading, but. And now we are gonna go to the lower section of the garden. So this is the lower section of the garden. My husband is gonna kill me, but I used to call this the graveyard garden. And now I'm gonna call it the lower section of the rainbow garden, because these were high voltage roses that did not do great in the Darcy Bosall garden. They always had black spot. I took all the leaves down and they all kept getting black spots. I moved them here. I defoliated them. You will see a video in my channel about that. And they are doing phenomenal. They're doing awesome. I think they're over the hump. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna call this a graveyard garden anymore, but they're doing great. Those are 4 bushes and they basically follow the rainbow garden pattern. So it's like from white, yellow, yellow closest here. And then I have these 4, which I talked about in a minute, that just matches the red in the back right here with that's the Fuji eleganza. So these are yarrow, and I like these because they are yellow and red, so it matches with the lower portion of the garden. And these are Maynai salvias, which they're not doing awesome, but I'm hoping that next year, as I cut them down, they will come out with great growth and will do great. So these are knockout roses. I put them down here. I said, well, I don't want to get rid of them. They were around the sunroom and they got full of black spot, and I threw them away into the compost pile, and they came back and they were like beautiful. I dug them out of the compost pile and I planted them here. So they have a lot of new growth. The high voltages are doing awesome. Look at the yellow section. That's my home right there. Yellow section. And then the, maybe I don't even have a stake with the name, with the knockout roses. And then these are yarrow, yellow and red. Anyway, I hope you like this video. It was a little bit of a longer video, but this is how my garden is doing in July, the end of July, July 28th, my anniversary. And I will keep you updated as to how it's doing. And look, this is how long it was. I started when it was like probably 5, and then look at the sun setting behind me. I live in the top of a hill, so again, this is how my home looks like. That's the garden, and then that's my home right there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Take care.